Next. It says southeastern mounds, pyramids, okay?
A mound is a mound and a pyramid is a pyramid. A mound can be in a pyramid shape or in many other shapes. Unless they specify a pyramid, then it is just a mound. Monk Mound is a mound that is in a pyramid shape. The Serpent Mound is in the shape of what? A serpent, not a pyramid. This is Poverty Point exaggerating the terrain for better perception and hypothesizing how it might have looked. This is an actual landscape image of Poverty Point. This is the main mound at Poverty Point looked from above. This is a three-dimensional reconstruction. This is a mound, not a pyramid. Every mound built is not a pyramid. Get a clue.
Next. Older than the pyramids. It's in the paper now.
So what? It does not mean Native American mounds are precursors to Egyptian pyramids or that they were more advanced because of it. That is the part I mentioned about critical research. Let's put this in perspective. You have a mound. An impressive earthen mound for sure, but not a pyramid. And the article is making a big ado about it predating the pyramids by thousands of years. Maybe so. The Newgrange Mound in Ireland also predates the pyramids. So does that make them precursors to the pyramids? No. Of course you are claiming, based on this article, that Poverty Point is somehow a more ancient civilization because of it. As you have claimed before, more ancient than Egypt or the rest of the Americas. But there are some serious flaws with this speculation. 1. Egypt had mounds way before it had pyramids. Just look at mastabas. They are roughly around 100 years from Poverty Point mounds in time. So the age difference is not that impressive. And the technology of Egypt was much more advanced than that of Poverty Point. Shoot, let's go back to the Americas. I just confirmed with Jonathan Huss, the Carl Supe civilization of Peru has monumental stone platform mounds that have carbon dated to 4100 BC. Rectangular in shape, 100 meters by 60 meters, 10 meters high and with 3 or 4 tiers, each 1 to 3 meters high. Unlike Egyptian pyramids, these Peruvian mounds are flat on top, with a large space covered with architecture that would have been for ceremonies. Still a stone pyramidal shape. That predates both mastabas, Poverty Point, the first Egyptian pyramid, etc. So can I brag Peru had the first pyramids? No. It is still the old world. Siok in Iran is an earthen ziggurat which has its northern mound dating to 5500 BC. A pyramidal shape as well. So any claim of Poverty Point being more ancient than the old world civilizations is foolish. It is an incredible structure, but keep it in context. Furthermore, the article never mentions one key element in your bogus claim. That the mound builders were in any way, shape or form African-looking people, your imaginary Washitaw Moors.
This is the same way the United States Congress set up, correct? Yeah. Same way the Roman Senate is set up, correct? This is where we started democracy. We started government, civilization in North America.
Oh brother, is this guy serious? So constructing a village in concentric circles equates to somehow influencing Romans to form their senates. I guess they also created acting as well, as Greek theaters predate the Roman Senate in using the circular seat formation. Again, Carl, predates Poverty Point in the circle formation as well. Do not worry, I will not claim they were the first democracy based on that.
Far to the north of Mexico is where? Texas, Louisiana, correct? We got a new group, still unnamed group of people, far to the north of the Olmecs, okay? Olmecs migrated northward and mingled with other people there, okay? Can we name other people? All right?
Who is this guy kidding? They are speaking of the Washitaw findings at Tamtok. Look where Tamtok is. It is north of La Venta, but nowhere near Poverty Point, Louisiana. The only mounds in Texas date to 800 AD, and are the Cardoan Mounds in East Texas. Nothing even close. The Tamtok culture had nothing to do with Poverty Point. And definitely had nothing to do with so-called Washitaw Moors. Not that Poverty Point had anything to do with them either.
Artifacts judging from their internal evidence range in age from roughly 2200 to 1800 years, depict men and women from various parts of the ancient world. Here's the part we need to get to right here. Among the most beautifully and skillfully executed of all the Burrows Cave stones by many depicting distinctly West African persons, identifiable even down to the sacrification lines accurately shown in their faces. None of them appeared to have been slaves. On the contrary, some wear fine garments and jewelry befitting individuals of rank and influence.
Is he seriously using Paul Barton as a source? Too comedic. Paul Barton is a Guyanese Afrocentrist that follows the footsteps of Van Sertima, Clyde Winters, etc. And what he is quoting is about the Burrows Cave, one of the most famous hoaxes out there. Go to the link you see in front of you. There you can find plenty on the Burrows Cave hoax. I will just read the conclusions to the inquiry on those claims. The major problem with Burrows Cave is that the more one examines the story, the more hoax-like and fabricated it begins to sound. At first glance it sounds plausible. A hiker falls into a cave and finds a trove of potentially important artifacts. Then we are told the artifacts are not from only one culture, but are Egyptian, Etruscan, Greek, Scandinavian, Roman, Vedic from India, Pakistan, Hebrew, and so forth. Suspicion naturally grows since it's highly unlikely that all these cultures would have been interacting with the same Native American tribes, much less at the same time, without leaving records of their own to tell the tale. To date, Russell Burrows is apparently the only person who has actually been inside the alleged cave. No one else has been allowed into it or given its location. The artifacts themselves are by all accounts ludicrous, obvious fakes created by someone who paged through various books, found likely-looking inscriptions, and copied them onto available pieces of stone. Many of the rock art pieces depict the same lantern-jawed profile of a human male, and numerous artists and archaeologists have noted that all appear to have been drawn by the same individual. Several pieces have been recognized as copies of known artifacts that have been depicted in various books over the years, and Barry Fell commented that the elephant stele was an obvious copy of one he depicted in his book America BC. The forger even copied a mistake Dr. Fell made on the transcription in the first edition, which allows the forgery to be dated to sometime after 1976. The burden of proof is firmly upon the supporters of the cave's authenticity, since their extraordinary claim has, to this date, produced no reliable proof and a great deal of suspiciously evasive maneuvering. To echo the words of several academics, it's time for Burrows supporters to put up or shut up.
Here's an article I found. Oh my God, I love this one. Nevada mummy. Let's stop right there. They have mummies in Nevada? Mummies in Nevada? Where are the mummies, everybody? Egypt. Egypt, right? Where is Egypt at? Africa. You think so?
More ignorance. Other than the Uwan mummy in Libya, the oldest mummies in the world are from the Peru-Chile desert. The Chinchorro mummies. The Nevada mummy in question is the Spirit Cave mummy. When both hair and dental patterns were compared, Spirit Cave mummy classified with Asians and Native Americans. His facial features craniometrically resembled the Ainu and the Norse. The Norse do not have the dental pattern or the hair type of Spirit Cave, but the Ainu do. So who are the Ainu closest to? Dr. Harai Satoshi, who studies mitochondrial DNA, believes that the Ainu people are the key to Japanese origins. Dr. Harai takes blood samples from the 1960s and analyzes the mitochondrial DNA to search for the origins of the Ainu people. There were Jomon people who lived on the Japanese islands over 12,000 years ago. Dr. Harai believes that the origins of the Ainu are the Jomon Japanese. In order to look at the relationship between the Jomon and the Ainu, Dr. Harai looked into the mitochondrial DNA of Jomon bones excavated from 3 areas nationwide. He compared 5,900-year-old Jomon remains found in Saitama Prefecture's Toda city with modern Ainu. He found an exact genetic match with the Ainu. The relationships between the Jomon people and the Ainu people, which were not clear through archaeological studies, have become obvious through DNA. The roots of the Ainu are the Jomon Japanese. South America's Atacama Desert, located at the foothills of the Andes Mountains. The research team came here to research because it is believed that tribes that live near the Andes have a very close connection with the Jomon Japanese. In Chile's North Catholic University, they have safeguarded a mummy from 6,000 years ago. Doctors Harai and Tajima extract mitochondrial DNA from the ancient mummy. This is the bone marrow of an adult woman. We were able to get it out very cleanly. Raul is a traditional quechua musician. Back at Dr. Jorge's lab, the extraction of the mummy's mitochondrial DNA has begun. The mummy's genetic sequence is identical to Raul's. After comparison, 12 mummies had an identical genetic sequence with Raul. How about the connection with the Jomon Japanese and the people who crossed over to the Andes? We compared Raul's DNA with the Ainu people, who are identical to the Jomon Japanese. Out of 564 letters, only 2 were different. Out of 27,000 different people analyzed across the world, the closest to the native South American people are the Ainu people. In other words, the people who crossed over to the Andes and the ancient Japanese are closer to each other, even among Mongoloids.